What's up, YouTube? My name is Kenny J, and this is KennyJTV. Today, we have a very special guest. We're doing something a little different today. I have an insurance legend here, has multiple agencies in Vegas, and I look up to him. He's a great insurance agent. I'm just going to bring him up. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Saka.
What's going on, guys? This is KennyJTV.
Let him know what it is. How are you today?
I'm good, man. I was just rushing home from the offices, or from one of the offices, and trying to it's the month of May 2021. I'm just trying to make sure that this month is better than last month, man. That's all.
I love it. And you have two agencies, correct?
Yeah. So yeah, a little bit about myself. I started my insurance journey about 5 years ago. I started an Allstate agency, but prior to that, I was in the banking industry for about 7 years while I was trying to get my. I was in the banking industry for 7 years. That was the same time that it took me to get my degree in business management, and after I got the degree, I quit banking because I always knew that I wanted to do something entrepreneurial. Wasn't sure what. And I got into the insurance space kind of blindly, and I started my first office from scratch at Allstate, and then we grew that successfully. After a couple of years, I needed a new challenge, so I opened a second one like a maniac.
I love it.
And I'm getting to a point to where I'm still looking to you know what I mean? Like, just like, what's next?
What's next, right? So what originally sparked your interest in insurance?
I had no interest in insurance prior to getting into the insurance industry. One of my best friends, he was in Allstate. He was in banking as well, after getting fired from the banking industry as well. And he was an Allstate agent for about 2 years. And I was just peeping his lifestyle. Like, he seemed to have a dope little, he had his own office, and he was growing, and I knew he was making a crap ton of money. And but more importantly than that, like, I saw his lifestyle. I saw that he was traveling, earning these incentive trips. This is pre-COVID, of course, but he's earning these incentive trips, and he was one of my best friends. And so it was his sister's birthday, and he invited me to Topgolf. And when I got the invite, I never missed his sister's birthday, like, ever. Yeah. But this year, or that particular year, they were having it at Topgolf, and he invited me. And I was so broke. I had I was like, in my mind, I was like, all right, so Topgolf is going to be at least a smooth $50, like at least $50. In my mind, I'm like working out the numbers. I was like, Will, I can't go, man. Like, I want to go. I want to go, but I don't have no money. And he's just like, just come on. Like, I got you. So he just told me, he's like, you should open up your own agency. And I was like, but I don't have insurance experience. Like I've never even like I barely managed people at the bank, I've never been a business owner. I know nothing about insurance, and I hardly managed people like in banking. So I don't know if I could do it. He's like, you could do it. And so I was like, all right, let me put some thought into it. The only thing I had left from banking was a 401k that I managed to like contribute to, and the bank matched it. And so I grew, that thing grew to like 25,000. Well, by the grace of God, it only took 25,000 to start your insurance agency back then.
Oh, wow.
Now it's 100,000. And so, I make this joke. It was like Indiana Jones, like the little thing was going down, and like I just kind of barely squeezed it. And so I just started it, and I knew I would have the mentorship. So that's probably the main reason. I was like, I know that I'm going to get one of my best friends to be like a resource, and I know that he has my best interest at heart. I know that I'll be able to reach out to him for anything and everything. And I did. I called him, like him and my other friend, probably almost every other day in that first year. And so that's how it happened. That's kind of how my insurance journey started.
Did you come in day one with a staff, or was it just you? Or
yeah, so I had to have 2 employees when I started.
So I know in one of your videos you were talking about different marketing techniques, and you were talking about going to car dealerships, but you didn't like the business that came from that. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, the reason I don't like the business that comes from car dealerships is the following. Like when I first started, like when you first start, or when I first started, I would take anything and everything. It's just like I'll write anything. Like like you got 4 DUIs, let's go.
Right.
and and at first you'll take anything because you're in growth mode. You're trying to grow your book. And so in the beginning, I did write car dealerships. I had partnerships. I had a bunch of people sending me stuff at my marketed to them. And the problem with car dealerships is that the business doesn't stick. I don't think
Yeah.
it sticks. I don't think it sticks as good as like my retention for dealership referrals is pretty bad versus retention from like a mortgage officer or a loan officer, someone that's buying a house. One, they have good credit because they wouldn't have been able to buy the house. And two, nobody really shops home insurance, you
Yeah.
know, and some people that just, I mean, they'll shop it, but like maybe like after like 4 or 5 years, whereas the dealership people, you know, I just envision, and I've even joked with some car salesmen, and they laugh because they know it's true. Where it's like, if you come to my dealership, and I'm like, they're already the dealership, car salesmen are already trying to gouge these people for as much as they can they're trying to screw them on the front end and the back end on the finance and the selling all the warranties and so these people they're selling people cars for like these high car payments, and now it's time to get insurance. And not only is the person not only can the person barely afford the car payment, they're looking for the cheapest possible insurance.
What would be like your biggest, I guess, piece of marketing advice to any like insurance agent or like a new agency owner like myself?
Yeah, so it's funny, man. When I first started my insurance agency 5 years ago, 2016, and I'm in training, and we're doing all these, we're in training, and they're like, "How are you going to grow your business?" And they're like, everyone's writing their like game plan, what they're going to do, and I promise you, I was one of the only people that put, "I'm going to grow my business through social media. Like, I'm going to grow it through branding, by promoting myself each and every day, by asking for business each and every day." Like, there's one thing's for a fact. Like, if you are friends with me on social media, best believe I'm going to be promoting something. And the fact that you and I have this, like, this is a different subject. I probably shouldn't go down this rabbit hole, but the fact that we're building YouTube at the same
Yeah.
time is going to be huge for us, in the sense that, people are going to watch our videos and want to come work for us someday because they're going to love our vibe, our culture, and who we are.
What would you say would be like the proudest moment so far in your like insurance career?
That's a really good question, man. My proudest moments are trying to help my team. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I see my team become successful, or when I see the guy that I brought on from Chick-fil-A that, was making like a joke of an hourly wage, pull in 50K his first year, like, that's built to me. That makes me proud.
And then like for you, you had, well, your team, they have a great like direct leader, but you were coming in not really having that experience or that leadership directly.
Yeah.
What would you go back and tell yourself if you could go back and tell yourself from day one? Like, what advice would you give to brand new agency owner Nicholas opening up his Allstate agency?
What I would have done differently is I would have hired a mentor a lot sooner. I'm in year 4 and I barely hired a mentor. And I should have done this from day one. Or not from day one, because there's still a lot of uncertainty. But the moment I started seeing money coming in and seeing like, oh shit, this is real. Like, like this works. You know what I'm saying? Like my hard work is actually paying off, in those first couple of like real checks that you were getting, and you're starting to see like, oh my God, like it's, I'm really in this, like this is
Yeah.
happening. I would have instead of that scarce mindset, like, oh, I can only spend this much on leads, and I can only spend this much, and I can only afford to have 2 employees. I would have gotten around more mentors and people that have kind of blazed that trail, and more often than not, they're willing to help you keep that same aggressiveness and intensity that you had day one. But in this business, we can get complacent once money starts coming in, and that's what we have to avoid, is that complacency, or that, I'm making 10,000 a month. I can do this for the rest, or like that. We start to like retract,
Right.
versus like, how do I keep this going?
Nicholas Saka, ladies and gentlemen, the insurance great. I look up to this guy. He's grown 2 agencies, and you've heard the stats. Thank you so much for joining us today, and just, pouring in some knowledge to my subscribers, your subscribers, about how lucrative the insurance industry is and how you grew. Do you have any last remarks or anything you want to leave for the people?
I would just say, I know a big part of your following and your subscribers are in the insurance business. I would just tell them to stick with it. I think the majority of people in the insurance industry fail. I think it's like 90%. A lot of people quit too soon, within 2 years. And I've even seen that just in whether it's an agency owner or whether it's employees and so on and so forth. And I think this is the best industry in the world. I think it's the best industry in the world because I always say this, because it allows you to get wealthy while still having a good work-life balance. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think there's that many industries that do that. And so this industry, if you're unsure of like your life's purpose, kind of similar to me, this industry will help you find it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can still hustle and make your good money, but also have that free time to figure out what else you're passionate about, what else you want to really explode in and work towards. So this is that industry for it. And so if you're in the insurance space, keep going and get around the right people, get around, mentors, get around people that are crushing it. There's a vast majority of resources all over the web, and you'll win in this industry, and it'll take you. This industry changed my life. You know what I'm saying? It's changing Kenny's, and whoever's listening, I know it could change theirs too.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for that. Guys, this has been an interview on KennyJTV. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell for my latest notifications. We are dropping a video every week on this channel. Again, my name is Kenny J. This is Nicholas Saka, and this is KennyJTV.